Let me first of all greet the officers, soldiers, and friends of the Salvation Army, and those who have become acquainted with Anthony Brathwaithe Jr. in any way. The occasion that you gather to take part in is one that none of us imagined that we will be witnessing at this moment in time. There are moments in our lives when we see something that looks totally out of place or witness something that is out of sync with our present reality of expectations, and we ask the question, what just happened there? I had one of these moments when I woke up on the morning of July the 3rd, 2020. I noticed that I had received several phone calls and texts from Barbados between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. And one of them was from my good friend Tony Brathwaithe, 11 o'clock in the night. When I tried to respond, I got the news that Anthony Jr. had died during the night. And for a few moments, my world stood still as I tried to come to grips with this news. And one of the reasons that such an event shocks us is because we pretty much plan out our lives from birth to retirement. And although we know that death is always possible, we still put that thought on the back burner and hope that we can live a long and successful life. But Junior's passing has sounded a definite reality check. Life is uncertain. So over the following days, I reflected on Junior's life and I thought, well, what could I say? You know? Because many people know that Junior migrated to Wellington Street Corps, Salvation Army, with his sister Anwar, with their parents, Tony and Margaret, at a tender age, and since Margaret got involved in Sunday school and home league especially, Tony was working a lot. Junior and Anwar attended the meetings with Margaret, and Yusuf used to drop them in the church. Sometimes I dropped them home after church, and Margaret had them Margaret had Junior and Anwar like the mother hen with the two chicks. They always following behind her, and they always used to be laughing with each other, and Junior would sometimes try to escape during church on Sundays, a bathroom break or water break during the sermon. But Margaret would soon come to retrieve him, get him back inside so he could hear the sermon. Everybody knows that Junior was a late bloomer when it comes to music. Tony was a brass player, but Junior started out on the drums. And then one day he told me he was going to try out the bass guitar. No, because Tony was brass and Margaret was timbrel, I understand, I couldn't figure out why he wanted to take out the bass guitar. I didn't have much faith, but I gave him the thumbs up and told him to go for it. And surprisingly, he stayed focused and did well. And I did see him performing competently afterwards on the bass guitar. Many Salvationists saw Junior moving around every divisional meeting and special activity that the Salvation Army had, taking photos. When he joined that multimedia team of Mark, Kellman and Adrian, Edwards, and then Rodney Burnaby. So this team, they used to enjoy each other's company so much, man. Constantly talking during the meeting and making jokes with each other. But eventually, Victor Phillips from Long Bay joined them to bring some stability to that group. But I could say Junior really enjoyed working with Rodney, Mark, and Adrian. It was a good chance for him to get permission to stay out late without Tony objecting, because he was helping to set up for youth councils and holiness convention. He was very loyal to Wellington Street Corps and was always a proud supporter whenever anybody from that corps was participating in anything. And these are the things that most Salvationists know and have probably been reflecting and remembering in these past few days. But personally, Junior worked with me for 2 years when I was at the training college to produce the design for the commissioning and ordination brochure for the Heralds of Grace session that was in 2015, and the Messengers of Light session of cadets in 2016. And his artwork went all over the Salvation Army world for 2 years. And it was great to collaborate with him and see the development of his skills and professionalism. He was a great graphic artist with some outstanding ideas and concepts. I was proud of him and had great hopes for his future. What I appreciated about him was the fact that he was open to advice and to direct conversation or intervention from a few people. And we shared on some private subjects about his life, and that was a real privilege for me. The writer T.S. Eliot produced a poem that spoke about some people who live and die pretty much unnoticed, and others who leave Earth with a bang, having made an impact. And we can truly say that Junior positively impacted almost everyone in the Barbados and St. Lucia Division of the Salvation Army. We are alive now. He is gone. We are here. One day, it may be your turn, or it may be my funeral. And I want to encourage us to try to live in a way that God will be proud to say at the end that we have made a positive impact for him also. Anthony posted on October 14, 2013 on Facebook, and this one that resonated with me. We all get caught in our own sins. Sometimes I have to remind myself that on my worst day, I live like somebody on their greatest. Don't let your demons take you to hell. Introduce them to heaven. And then he came on March 26, 2014, a few months later. These things on Facebook, on his profile, the impact of these words. I've made bad decisions, regret things I've done and choices I've made. As much as I'd love to, life doesn't allow you to go back and change things to the way you should have done it. All I can do is learn from the past and prepare for what the future may bring. That's a heavy post, and it resonated with me too. Something I would say too. I want to offer my condolences first of all to Tony, Margaret, and Mar. My dear friends, words are inadequate to express my emotions at this time, but I want to assure you of my continued support long after this funeral is over. I especially don't want to send a virtual hug, support to some of Junior's closest contacts. I know these ones were close. Vivian and Nico, Eiffel, Gina, Coltress, Andre, Mears, Mark, Kellman, Adrian, Edwards, Rodney, Burnaby, and Sheena. See you. My dear friends, it's hard, it's tough now, but someday we will all understand. Of course, I extend sympathies to the Wellington Street Core family and the entire Barbados division, because we are a family and we support each other. No matter where we are in the world, we rejoice together and we mourn together. We have lost some faithful soldiers in recent months. And this one, though, I deeply regret that I can't be home with you all at this time. But I stand with you all in spirit. Remember, most of all, that God is with you. And the eternal God is our refuge, and underneath are His everlasting arms. So may He comfort and strengthen you all. Again, my condolences on behalf of my wife, Priscilla, the children, Kristen, RJ, and Monique, and Anthony, Brathwaithe Jr. Rest in peace.